Beauty and fashion are officially back in the White House. Inauguration Day was full of immaculate vibes, incredible fashion, and wholesome family moments because the golden age of America has begun, baby, and I am so here for it. So we could do an entire video on Trump's speech, but today I really want to focus on the outfits at inauguration, which may seem like a superfluous, silly thing, but it really seems to me like beauty and fashion and elegance is making a comeback at the White House, and that's a very important moment for our culture. Seeing these beautiful, classy, elegant, fashionable women in the first and second families, it's a big deal because remember, beauty is not just some superfluous, exclusively shallow thing. As much as people want to convince you that the way that we look doesn't matter, our looks actually play a really big role in the way that we present ourselves to the world and what we represent to the world. And for all of human history until about 5 minutes ago, until we've been in this postmodern era, humans understood that beauty played an integral role in society. And the beauty that every society and culture lifts up and elevates and celebrates is perfectly reflective of that society and that culture's values and morals. So yes, looks matter and beauty matters. And let's face it, over the last 4 years in the White House, we have not seen very much beauty and we have not seen much fashion at all. Okay, so let's go over some of the best outfits from Inauguration Day. Obviously, we have to start with Melania Trump's inauguration outfit. I know there was a lot of chatter about this ensemble. Some people thought she looked like V for Vendetta or an Undertaker or Carmen Sandiego, but this was a very intentional look, right? This was a this look was meant to send a specific message. Keep in mind, this woman's husband was almost unalived. They raided her home. And to me, this outfit indicates that Melania is just beginning her revenge arc, and I feel bad for anybody who is in her warpath. So her outfit was designed by Adam Lips. He's a New York-based designer who has also dressed Biden and Michelle Obama. And this was his statement about the outfit. He says, "The tradition of the presidential inauguration embodies the beauty of American democracy. And today we had the honor to dress our First Lady, Mrs. Melania Trump. Mrs. Trump's outfit was created by some of America's finest craftsmen, and I take great pride in showing such work to the world." There were a lot of opinions about her eyes being hidden. People were like, "I liked the hat, but why didn't she take it off? I couldn't really see her face." Again, she is trying to tell a very specific story here, especially when we compare it to what she looked like at the inauguration in 2017. It was Melania in 2017, an ode to Jackie O, this sort of powder blue ensemble from head to toe, even the heels match the gloves. This is a very light, a very hopeful look that, again, was sending a specific message. And then you fast forward to 2025. This is a very different look. This is dark MAGA energy. You know, we've kind of been joking over the last year online, especially on X, about the dark MAGA energy that has entered the chat. And Melania is really embodying this, and this is not an accident. I think she looks really pretty here, and this is another photo of her from the luncheon that day, and you can see more of her face because she's tilted a little bit upward. But it's just a beautifully crafted outfit. It's very elegant. I think it looks really stunning on her figure, and I liked the hat, and some people really didn't like it. A lot of people had opinions, but I thought it was gorgeous. And this image, man, this picture speaks 1,000 words. Benny Johnson says American gangsters, and it really does look like that. Again, dark MAGA energy here. And once again, people might try to convince you that fashion is shallow and it's silly and it's just what girls do, but we forget that fashion and outfits, they tell a story. And again, for pretty much all of human history until pretty recently, people understood that that what you wore sent a message to the world and it told a story. So let's look at this photo here because this really tells a story. Incredible how Melania dominates the visual hierarchy. In this photo are the wealthiest and most powerful men on earth and some of the most consequential politicians of the last century. But when some student opens a history book in 500 years and sees this image, they'll pick out Melania as the most powerful person in the room. I saw another tweet that really embodied this well. You know, in every couple, there's one person who is like the go-getter and a little bit aggressive, and there's another person who kind of scales them back. And probably 8 years ago, it may have seemed like Trump was the guy who was a little bit more aggressive. Melania was the one who was promoting more peace. But that has flipped. And Melania's outfit signifies that. This woman is pissed. They have persecuted her husband for 8 years. They've raided her home, the home that her son lives in. They've raided her panty drawer. This woman is on a mission, and now it seems to me like the script is flipped, and Trump is the one that has to like hold her back, because look at her energy in this photo. I mean, she is the one that is commanding the power in the room. She's the focal point. When you look at this photo, what's the very first thing you see? It's Melania. The hat is over her eyes, and yet she is still commanding power. But there's more to her story with her fashion from Inauguration Day, because later in the evening, she really lightened up and her ball gown told, again, a little bit of a different story. Here she is with a strapless gown with this sort of zigzag pattern of the black, and it's really completed with that choker and the brooch right there on her neck. She looks elegant as usual. She's lightened things up, but she's keeping that dark MAGA. I keep saying dark MAGA, but it's like the dark colors. She's keeping that dark MAGA energy with the design of this dress here. Okay, in my opinion, Ivanka Trump had the best outfits on Inauguration Day. I have always thought Ivanka's wardrobe is incredible. Ivanka, to me, is always dressed impeccably. In my humble opinion, I think Ivanka's outfit was the most gorgeous outfit on Inauguration Day. I love this deep green ensemble, like almost like a teal green ensemble. I really like the length of her skirt. I like this asymmetrical thing happening with the hem of her blazer. I thought the hat was really nice. She just looks very, very elegant. Her kids are gorgeous. And her daughter, I forgot how old her daughter is, but her daughter was dressed both age appropriately and very classy and elegantly. And this was the night before Inauguration Day. This is the candlelight dinner. I love this piece on her. I really like it's not quite strapless, but it's got like that drop shoulder effect. The sequins and the design is so pretty. And I think the color really suits her skin tone. Again, this is just gorgeous. Ivanka, to me, this is perfection. The hair, the makeup is like quite minimal, but then she's a little bit heavier with the eyelashes and the earrings. I actually like that her neck is bare with this dress because it doesn't take anything away from the neckline. This also came from Inauguration Day. I really like this all camel outfit, the monochrome, the details, the sort of floral details on her coat. Really, really pretty. Her daughter, again, looks adorable. The boys look great, but I love her fashion sense. It's amazing. Of course, we can't forget this gown. This is the strapless gown that she wore to the inauguration ball. This is very much a throwback to old classic Hollywood and Audrey Hepburn. The gloves, the black trim at the bottom of her skirt. I love the detailing on the dress, the floral design, and that necklace is perfect. I love that her hair is pulled back. This is just class, elegance. Here it is, Audrey Hepburn. See, it's giving old Hollywood. Very, very much like what we saw from Ivanka. All American. I love it. Of course, we have to talk about the second lady of the United States, Usha Vance. I didn't really follow much about her and her marriage and her family with JD Vance, but this woman has impeccable fashion as well. Ma'am, yes, ma'am. She is showing up with a light pink coat. I like the gray boots along with it and the gloves. This is a really stunning combination. I like that she chose the sort of lighter color. I'm actually surprised at how much I like that Usha doesn't color her hair. She's got that natural gray in her hair. To me, it works. There's something about it that's really natural and classy, and she pulls it off. I love this look from her. And just side note, can we talk about how cute the Vances are together? Look at the way she looks at her husband. I know this photo is all across the internet. Everyone is talking about how wholesome it is. This is one of those wholesome family moments. I have to say, I love seeing little kids in the White House again. We haven't seen young children in the first or second family in a long time, but it's so nice to have a vice president that has a young family. They have 3 children. This is their youngest. She had those 3 Band-Aids on her fingers, and any parent knows that the only reason she's probably got these Band-Aids on is because she just loves Band-Aids because she's a toddler. And it was probably the only way they could get her to like put her little dress on and go about the day. But this is so cute. I love the way that she's looking at JD. She's obviously so proud of him. They've been together for a long time. Even Tiffany Trump, she looked really nice here. She's 6 months pregnant with her first child. And this whole thing, and this was the inauguration ball. Yeah, this was the inauguration ball. Yeah, she looks pretty here. I like the neckline. Really gorgeous. So all of these outfits, all of these looks, all of this fashion, it's actually quite aristocratic, which is a word that I know many people aren't very comfortable with. But I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of looking up to a sort of aristocracy. I think that right now in American culture, we are actually, whether or not we can articulate it or admit it, we are yearning for something a little bit more aristocratic. Because I want you to think about the last 5 to 10 years. Culturally, what has been very fashionable? It's fashionable to wear sweatpants, to wear the sort of athleisure, a lot of leggings. There's something very lazy and super casual happening in our culture when it comes to fashion, especially with the younger generation. And I think people are ready for some glam. I think people are ready for elegance and classic beauty because we haven't seen that in a while. I mean, a really good example is Alex Cooper, podcast host of Call Her Daddy. When she interviewed the then Vice President Kamala Harris, she wore a hoodie to interview the sitting vice president. To me, that's like so Gen Z. And I think the hoodie was like Call Her Daddy merch. But still, if you were interviewing the vice president 20, 30 years ago, you would have been dressed to the nines. You would have shown up with your absolute best clothes. Another good example, somebody pointed out to me, like Joe Rogan, he had Donald Trump on his podcast. And yeah, at the time, Trump obviously wasn't elected yet. But if you're having like a former president on your podcast, I would dress up, whether you're a man or a woman. But right now our culture is so into the laid back, super cash look. And I really think that there is something happening here where a lot of people are interested in seeing elegance and beauty once again. This tweet here, the aesthetics of and reactions to the inauguration make me think that Americans are craving an aristocracy. There is something true here. Humans are naturally drawn to what is beautiful. We are naturally drawn to all things gorgeous and beautiful because we are made to appreciate beauty. And I think the more that beauty is sort of sucked out of a culture, the more it indicates that that culture is dying away and that culture is rotting away. So yeah, there is a little bit of an aristocracy resurgence happening. I think many people, again, even if they can't articulate it or admit it, they want to see this class and this elegance. Because even though we know we're never going to be able to dress like Ivanka, we don't have the money to do it. But a lot of women, they see that and they're inspired to like get up and look better that day, to get up and present themselves better to the world. I think that our looks do matter. And I think it matters the way that we present ourselves. Think about previous decades, even like the 1960s, and of course, back even to the 1920s, men and women always stepped out of their home looking their very best. They were dressed sharp. They had the coat. The men wore the hats. The women always wore dresses and little kitten heels to even go grocery shopping. Now, I'm not saying obviously that we need to return to everything we saw in those decades, but one thing that our society and culture did get right at that time is that they valued beauty and they understood that it was important to look presentable and to look respectful in society. And I think that we are yearning for that once again. I think that we're seeing that with the first and second families in the White House now. You have these women that are gorgeous, that are wearing really beautiful clothes. We're done with the ugly pantsuits and the sort of like androgynous but sort of masculine pantsuits that these women are wearing in the White House. Like, I'm sorry, but a lot of the pantsuits that Kamala wore were just not it. And Jill Biden, I know it's going to offend a lot of people, but no, she didn't have a good fashion sense. It is time. We are ready. I think a lot of women are ready to see this fashion, and it's a good thing to have this kind of beauty propped up. Now, you can have your own opinions about what these women believe and what these women do with their business, whatever, but you cannot deny that these women have a good fashion sense. And I think it's trickling down to the rest of the culture. Not only is it trickling down, but it's indicating that the culture is ready for something different. So I think this is a great thing. Beauty is good for society. We should celebrate beauty. We should put beauty at the forefront of our society because it's good for us. It's good for us individually. It's good for us collectively. And it's going to produce more good. Because remember, all of human history, we believed and we understood that beauty was inseparable from truth and from good, because anything that is truly beautiful is also true and it's also good. So let's celebrate beauty. Let's celebrate good fashion. And I'm inspired to go shopping now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, please share it. We'll see you on the next one.